All right, so hey, people of God. So this is Brashana B with On My Way Up movement. Y'all, I'm out walking, having a beautiful time, just me and God. He prompted me to go for a walk, and so I was obedient. So, and sitting under this tree, and I'm really just thinking. And I was thinking about how Paul tells us that we're not fighting against flesh and blood, right? And then how we're fighting against, spirits, that it's all a spiritual warfare, right? And I was thinking about, y'all, how evil the devil is. Like, how he is so busy trying to destroy, kill, and steal from you that, y'all, he actually overplays himself. Let me make it plain. Like, have you ever had a person who was jealous of you or envious of you, and the extremes that they went to compete with you, that you were like, oh my God, is this really happening? Like, is he or she really serious? Like, are they really gonna go this far? Right? Let's say you were married and you had a spouse who committed adultery, and the extreme and the extent that he and she went, the lies, the manipulation, and he or she was able to just come around you, like nothing ever happened. And say you found out after all this, and you're like replaying, like us women, we do that. We're like, oh, so that day was when, when everything finally comes out, and it's like, how were you able to do that? Let's say you were ever with a narcissist in a relationship, or a friend to a narcissist, and you've ever seen how evil they are, and just what they really are capable of. And to a neurotypical, or just an empath, or just a normal person that is not a narcissist, like, they're so evil that you can't even fathom, that they were really doing what they were doing, or that they're doing what they're doing. This is the enemy overplaying his hand. Like, it's just so evil that it's unnatural, right? Have you ever heard of people who have suffered from like weird sicknesses, and you're like, wow? Like, recently I was talking to an awesome woman of God, actually a friend of mine, and she was sharing with me her testimony, how she was working at a mailroom, and she tripped backwards, and it actually tore her Achilles heel, right? And then she explained how she was in surgery, and she was supposed to have been sedated, and she said that she woke up, she don't even remember, snatched all the IVs out, and threw up in her stomach while she was still open. Like, stuff like this isn't natural. And when she told me that, I was like, clearly the enemy is trying to destroy this lady. Like, this is just strange manifestations happening, or like everybody in the family is dying from kidney failure, diabetes. Everybody in the family is going to prison. Everybody in the family keep getting divorced 2 and 3 times. Everybody in the family keep losing losing their children to CPS by a drug addiction, or another extreme case. A child was given up for adoption as a newborn, never met he or she biological parents, and come to find out, without ever meeting them, he or she ends up walking in their footsteps, right? This is principalities, powers. This is spiritual, y'all. Okay? And this is where you have to not even take it personal. That's what Paul is basically telling you. Like, don't take it personal. The enemy is just that evil. He goes to the extreme. This is why often when you see people who are insane, or who have really, really horrible psychological disorders and things, and I'm not saying that all of that is demonic, but in some cases that it is. We all know about Legion. We know that in modern day time, he would have been diagnosed with bipolar, schizophrenia, dissociate, I forgot the disorder. but it's a disorder, dissociate or something like that. But anyway, and it was because there were so many demonic spirits within his human host that he was irregular. He acted irregular. The enemy didn't care how weird he was making this man act. It was just all about stopping this man from his purpose. This man ended up being a huge evangelist, right? And people are trying to stop your purpose. They're trying to stop the plans of God in your life. And they're agents. And the enemy is using them. And he don't care how weird he manifests, how weird or evil or outright, or how much he's overplaying himself. He's just so busy being evil that he don't even know just how obvious he looks sometimes. Yeah, the enemy is subtle too, But when you see extreme cases, you see somebody just abnormally hating on you, somebody just weirdly jealous of you, somebody just extremely competitive of you, strange illnesses, sicknesses, just strange occurrences that is just not explainable, unfathomable. These are plain cases of this is not flesh and blood that you're dealing with, that these are principalities and powers. So folks, here is where I tell you, that also should make it easier for you to forgive the person. Now, I know that can be hard. And this is where you pray for God to have mercy on this person because they're being used, right? This is where you come in and you cover yourself. Psalm 91. This is where you rebuke the enemy. This is where you start binding and casting and dealing with that thing, because that is a diabolical plot and it's plain. So, y'all, I hope y'all have a happy Friday. And I just hope y'all have a blessed afternoon. Like, subscribe, share, tell me what y'all think about my content. And I'll see you soon.